Introducing God's Learning Channel's brand new Amazon bookstore, your gateway to a world of wisdom and faith. Our Amazon bookstore offers a remarkable collection of dozens of hand-picked items, carefully curated to enrich your spiritual journey. From a wide selection of traditional Christian and Jewish Bibles to Judaica treasures, biblical holiday merchandise, and even beautiful jewelry. Our Amazon bookstore has it all. Conveniently shop from the comfort of your own home at any time. Just visit our website or stop by our online bookstore. Or better yet, simply find us on Amazon to embark on a transformative shopping experience. New items are added regularly, so remember to always check back. Shop now and embrace the blessings that await you.
Hi friends, we at GLC would like to take a quick moment to thank you for watching our programs on this platform, and we'd like to ask you for a little favor. Would you please go beneath this video and click the subscribe button? Did you know that by simply subscribing to the GLC YouTube channel, you can help us financially support the programs on this platform? You'll need to be signed into YouTube beforehand. But if not, simply click the subscribe button and YouTube will automatically walk you through the steps to sign in or to create an account. By taking these simple steps, you will not only ensure that you continue to receive our unique programming and gain instant access to the hundreds of videos we post, but more importantly, you'll also be telling YouTube that GLC's content is worth watching and promoting. Likewise, if you enjoyed a specific program, please click the thumbs up button below, which also helps inform YouTube that this is a program worth recommending. Finally, once you have logged in and subscribed, please click the notification bell below in order to receive announcements when we post new content. As usual, feel free to post your questions and comments in the comments section below. We always love hearing from our friends and viewers. Again, thank you for watching and supporting God's Learning Channel. We couldn't spread the message of the gospel without you. Be blessed, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Shalom, everyone. Joe and Debbie Good. We joined with Gilla Treibich from Jerusalem a couple days ago, telling about an immediate need in Israel. And Gilla, I want to welcome you to this update from our first update. And
Thank you.
Yeah, an update to the update. And first, I want to thank all of those that have responded and donated. It has been tremendous, but we're going to need
Overwhelming.
When I called Gilla and told her, she was speechless, but she was trying to talk because she was overwhelmed with the response. But Gilla, give us an update. Tell us where we are. Tell us what's happening, and I think you're going to show us a little bit of what's happening.
Right. So, there's more. People are getting more and more ready to actually for the ground operations. There are a lot of ground troops that are busy, because they're still cleaning some of the communities, some of the kibbutzim that were attacked by Hamas. Believe it or not, they're still finding bodies, and not everybody has been identified. It's horrific. The whole thing is absolutely horrific. So there's a lot of ground forces that are doing that. They're still, they're more than the excess of 1,200 Hamas people. I don't know what they call them, terrorists. I'm sorry, they're not people. Hamas terrorists who came in, and some of them might still be around the country. Just yesterday, there was I think even today there was still an encounter. That is a group of military group encountered terrorists, and there's always fire exchange. Thank God when they meet them here, they're just they kill them. They're just gone. So that's what they happen. In addition to that, they're moving a lot of troops to the north, because as the Air Force is pounding Gaza and really destroying it to the ground, powder to the ground, there's been attacks from by Hezbollah from the north, from Lebanon. So the people in the north are getting sirens, like Hagoshrim, Daphna, Kibbutz Dan, even Haifa. They're getting sirens, and they have to run to their secure rooms, to their shelters. They have I think that many of you know that when you build an apartment in Israel, it is a requirement to have what we call a secure room. It's a reinforced concrete room, which has a small window that you can bar, and it's barred with complete iron, and a solidly and completely closed door. In that room, you're supposed to have some water and have some supplies that will last you for at least a day or so. In families who have secure rooms like this, the children usually sleep in the room. For example, in my daughter's place, they have all the toys are in the secure room. It's the playground. It's the playroom. So it doesn't have any traumatic effect, but they've been sleeping in this room now, and many are. So they're getting sirens like that in a lot of places in the country. We haven't had any sirens in Jerusalem. I'm always laughing, and I'm saying that we have one big secure room, and you call it a Temple Mount.
Yeah.
Because of the mosques and the Temple Mount, it's very unlikely that Hamas will attack anywhere in the vicinity of old Jerusalem. I hope I'm right. It's like pray to God that is true. But they rarely attack in Jerusalem. So that's what's been happening. But at the same time, the ground forces, both the armored forces, the infantry, all the different groups are getting more and more ready. They're training, they're getting equipment, they're getting ready to break into Gaza. We don't know when it's going to happen, but I think that this time the Air Force is taking no chances, because last time when we went into Gaza, when the ground forces went into Gaza, they went into a lot of booby traps, and there are a lot of casualties, and now they just want to completely avoid that. Let me just tell you one thing. One of the people who was interviewed, they interview a lot of people that were involved in different wars of Israel, but one that was interviewed was Kahalani.
Yes.
You all know Victor Kahalani, a big hero from the Yom Kippur War. And it is the battalion that was in the Valley of Tears on Yom Kippur. That is the one that was stationed near the Gaza border.
Wow.
And because of just colossal failure of intelligence, I mean, this is going to be studied for years, how all of that happened. The terrorists managed to just come into the base, disarm the soldiers, and literally slaughter them. But he said that the battalion now lost more people than he had ever lost during the Yom Kippur War.
Wow.
It just impossible to. I mean, it's unfathomable. It's really terrible. It's really terrible. Yeah. So they continuing to answer requests. There's many requests. They need water bags. They need warm T-shirts, thermal T-shirts, because they stay outdoors all night, and it's starting to get cool already, and it get cooler every day. They need fleece jackets. And the big thing is bulletproof vests.
Yes.
Now, a big shipment of bulletproof vests arrived, and our guys, the civilian war room, had a big order. Except now they're detaining it in the port, because it turns out that one of the shipments turned out to be faulty. So the Defense Ministry is not allowing anything to go out of the port without checking every single vest.
Gilla,
Yeah.
interrupt for a moment.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that some of the viewers did not see our previous program when you told about why we exactly why are we supplying what they might think the Israeli army has plenty of,
or why there's such a need.
Yes.
That normally, you mentioned the army can supply itself. So explain that.
Right. Well, the regular army, the standing army, is very well supplied. The need is from the reserve units. They called a lot of reserve units. I think they called more than the usual, and the response was more than the usual. So we're literally saying that there's a response of 120 or 130%. Normally, the military expects a certain percentage of no-show, but that wasn't the case this time. Everybody showed up. So they just were not ready for so many people. They were not ready. Even if the usual number shows, there's always some problems. There's always some looking for equipment and always trying to find the good equipment. Because last time reservists were called was like a couple of years ago, more than a couple of years ago. So even though they keep the supply places all well maintained, the human nature, not everything is as well maintained as it's supposed to be, and the numbers are not there, and so on. Because we were totally surprised. I know you know that.
But it's a wonderful thing. It's wonderful that such a need would exist because the response has been so good. But of course, we felt it would be good if we could try to help to answer to some of that need, because you're overwhelmed with these numbers. And so, I just think it's a wonderful problem to have. And so we can be thankful for that. Now we have to answer this, or we have to get to the solution of that problem.
Right. Exactly, Debbie. The wonderful thing is that the response was so full. Because everybody volunteered. People, everybody wants to participate. Everyone wants to fight. Everybody wants to fight back. So so that's what creates the needs. Yeah.
But they can't go. They're not going to be deployed till they are fully equipped with, as you said, the bulletproof vests, the shields for their helmets to keep the shrapnel. They
have special helmets. They call them tactical helmets they keep them from the shrapnels, and plus they have all the electronic equipment, all of the hearing devices and all of the all of the earpieces and everything that they need, because so much is now depending on electronics, which is again good and bad, but that's the way it is. So
years ago we had an organization that was part of the ministry here, Hatikva Ministries, that was called the David Fund. God's Learning Channel got on board, and we worked together to supply the Army with various things, everything from dining halls to all kinds of things. We have reactivated the David Fund. And you can make donations that will go to this effort that Gilla's talking about to get these supplies for the soldiers. And
if I can interject
just
a minute, because you see on the screen where it says JerusalemTempleStudy.com/donate, and underneath it says all donations go to the David Fund. All donations that are go through the David Fund, or when you click on the David Fund button, will go to the David Fund. All of it will.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because if you just go there and just try to donate to somewhere, it might come to us, and then we have to separate it and get it into that fund.
Right.
But
this goes directly.
This is wonderful. It makes it so much easier, so that we don't have that mistake anymore.
Right. So every penny will go directly over to Israel and to this organization that is getting these supplies to the soldiers.
And let's also, the war room, that war room is the private office one of the guys there. His name is Roy. He is an investment consultant. He has a very fancy and very nice office in Tel Aviv. He put away everything that belongs to his office and opened it to the purpose of collecting all the supplies and working and being in touch with the unit. All of these guys are volunteers, so there's no overhead. Every penny that you donate goes to the soldiers.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's what, 6 people in that room, and they probably have a staff that rotates, and
Right. A lot of these young women are young mothers.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, these are young people. I mean, I'm telling you, this is my kids' generation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these guys are already older, because like Roy did reserves until maybe a year or 2 ago, but now that's it. He's done. He must be over 40. He must be about 42, which is very young. Like my kids, like my son-in-law. My son-in-law said he was going to volunteer for a day or two, or Ariel, they're like my son. They're too old. They're too old for reserves. It's amazing. You see. But so they're doing that. So it's really already our kids' generation that's doing this.
Explain this.
We're seeing boxes in a car here, so explain what this means to us.
Well, they're 2 soldiers coming to pick up the donations, pick up boxes of equipment. But of course, you don't want to show the faces.
Right.
So they put the emojis instead of their faces. It's not a good thing to show faces of soldiers on TV, because they often get into all kinds of trouble. What they painted over here are the unit, the names of the units and the location of the units, which you don't want people to see. You don't want to show on TV. So that's what you're saying. One of the first things I asked before we hooked up with these people is there any overhead? And they said, everybody's a volunteer. No one's getting a penny.
I have a question, Gilla. We saw the pictures of the boxes. We saw 2 boxes on the floor. We saw some boxes in the car. We just saw another box. That room doesn't look big enough to hold a lot of supplies. How are they handling that?
It's not. These are just the small supplies. The biggest supplies, the largest supplies, they get in touch with the supplier, and the supplier moves the equipment directly to the units.
That's great.
They don't have a warehouse. They don't have a big enough warehouse for that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But they don't keep this is not a warehouse to keep equipment. It's just an office, really, to order the equipment, to match it with the unit that needs it, and then the supplier, they pay the supplier, and the supplier takes it directly to the soldiers.
All right.
Oh, and that's like
It's a well-oiled operation, and it's unbelievable. I mean, it all started on Sunday.
Yes.
So really quite incredible. Yeah.
We've had several requests from people that say, well, I don't feel comfortable doing it over the internet to make a donation. And we've had some direct wire transfers. And if you feel that way, if you'll get in touch with God's Learning Channel, and they will get in touch with us, and we will directly get in touch with you to give you instructions on how to send a wire.
Well, and of course, if they want to send a check, it takes a little bit longer. But if that's, how you handle business, and that's what you feel comfortable with, we can always take the check and deposit it into the bank, and then it would be ready probably very, very shortly after deposit. It's just the mail is just not as dependable as it used to be a few years ago. Now, do we have
mail?
Yeah, the snail mail.
Snail mail, yeah.
Do we have a report on anything that has anything from the fund been put to use yet, or how is that going as far as what's been taken in here and how it is, do we have anything to report on that?
How it is spent? Not yet, because we made the first payment last night, very late last night, and the funds will only be available tomorrow morning.
Yes,
So
and
as soon as we start spending the money, we'll get a full report.
Okay, great.
Let me kind of give an update on that. Gilla said, I need you to do an overseas wire transfer. And she told me how much they needed right then. I went to the bank, we sent the wire transfer, and all of this takes a little bit of time. And but it's there in the bank in Israel, okay? And it will be available for them tomorrow morning, Israeli time.
First thing in the morning, Israel time. So that's in the middle of the night for you.
Right. And we will be sending more. We're going to be sending it as quickly as we can, so there won't be a delay. It'll just be an automatic thing of the money we have will be there available for them. Okay?
Yeah. And pray that the Defense Ministry releases the bulletproof vests as quickly as possible. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they're working 24/7.
Well, but you want them to be effective, and you want them to be
absolutely
protected.
You don't want them to be faulty. Yeah.
Gilla, let me ask you on the people on the street.
Mm-hmm.
What is the attitude of the people on the street? We've seen soldiers. There'll be like a convoy or whatever going through one of the Israeli towns, and the people are out encouraging the guys. They're bringing them food and Coca-Colas and whatever.
Oh, I saw, and this is really interesting. I saw where Chabad had gotten together and was cooking a huge barbecue. And, there's a history there where Chabad has not always been very supportive of the military. Right. And then I think the one I really got a kick out of was a restaurateur in Tel Aviv who worked at getting his extra so that he could bring kosher food to the army. I mean, these are great stories.
Some of the top fancy restaurants in Tel Aviv did a quick job of turning their kitchens kosher.
That's wonderful. Amazing.
I know, that's unbelievable.
One area that I'd like to appeal to, I'd like to see literally the viewing audience here of God's Learning Channel. This goes up on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's numbers of places that you can view this as well as other interviews about the war situation. What I'd like to appeal to is the congregations, the churches, the Hebrew Roots groups, whatever. Y'all need to get involved. Y'all need to be speaking. We have to stand by Israel.
I mentioned, I think in the first little segment we did, before Gilla had joined us, I had mentioned that I was looking at this in a threefold way, that the first thing we need to do, first and foremost, is we need to pray for Israel, for its military, and for the captives that have been taken. So that's number one. Number two, we need to give. We need to support these causes. We need to give generously, if at all possible, and we need to make sure that we're giving to a place that is going to meet the direct need. And third, and this is a part we haven't really been paying too much attention to lately, you need to spread the word. You need to not just watch this on your computer or whatever. You need to take this to your congregation. You need to question your congregational leader. Perhaps your congregational leader is very supportive of Israel, but if they're not, you need to question why they're not and say, I see a very real need here, and I feel that Hashem has his presence over this nation, and we as a congregation should be doing something about that. So you need to spread this out and get this into the hands of as many people as possible. There's
already poison being spread out. Like you see pro-Palestinian demonstrations at Harvard. It was very loud. Actually, the Wall Street Journal today banned 2 students came out in support of Hamas. In Canada, there was a big there's a big demonstration, and doctors were like really terrible things. I mean, this time at least there's some counter work also, but the support for the Palestinians is going to start going really very heavy, very quickly.
We have to be that.
You need to counter that. You need to spread the word that it's the Hamas that is the evil, the absolute evil. You know,
Yes.
I mean, as evil as the Nazis. They use Nazi methods. It's like they're complete and absolute evil, what they did. So it's important for the world to know that.
You know, I keep thinking back with Esther, in the book of Esther, when she is hesitant, when Mordecai comes to her and says, you must do something about this, you've got to do this to save your people. And she's hesitant, and she says, I don't even know if I can get to the king. And he tells her, very important, he says, do not think that you're going to escape this by doing that. You know, that Hashem will raise up somebody else. They'll take care of it, and you and your entire line will perish. And we're kind of in that position too. If we don't support, if we're not verbal, if we don't make our and our support known now, don't think that we're going to escape the same thing later on. You know, this is massive. It is evil. It's ugly, and it's going to rear its head everywhere. And right now, I'm so sorry for this, but right now y'all are taking the brunt of the blow. But that doesn't mean that anybody else is immune to this. You know, this is an evil that must be extinguished. They have to be obliterated.
Yeah. And it's not a complex situation. It's not something to think about. It's pure evil.
Yes.
That's the face of evil. What they have done to families, to children, to babies is just the face of evil. And that you have to fight against that. That has to be eradicated.
One of the basic tenets of the scripture is that if you believe in God, then you must stand by Israel. That is our calling, is to stand by Israel. And, you know, we hear it a lot of times, but he says, I'll bless those who bless Israel, and I'll curse those who do not. And so my feeling is that Israel is on the front line, but God is going to judge us by how do we react. Do we stand with Israel? Do we support Israel? Do we financially support? Do we verbally support? Do we stand up against anti-Semitic statements and for support for Hamas? Or do we declare this is evil and we are with Israel and we're going to help? And everybody needs to be praying. Gilla?
Well, you know, the people of Israel really appreciate the support, and it really gives us tremendous strength. And it just we're extremely touched by that, and humbled by the support that you people are showing. It's like it's like oxygen for us, you know. It's like air for us to breathe. You know that Israel has a lot of enemies, and we have big enemies.
And those enemies increase.
Yeah. The biggest, of course, is Iran, and very interesting that, I mean, President Biden and Secretary Blinken there, who's here now, have all promised and have all assured us of the total way they stand by Israel and against the enemies. But the one enemy they have not mentioned is Iran.
Yes.
And that's really the big guy that orchestrated this whole attack.
Yes.
So.
Well, that's what a lot of the media feels.
Yeah.
The only people that are not acknowledging it actually are the politicians involved. But you know, I even heard one person refer to it as this, Iran's involvement was a gift to Russia. That this is a thank you gift to Russia or whatever. It just, everybody sees Iran's involvement all through this. And, we've known from the very beginning that Iran was going to be trouble.
Right.
From the 70s, we knew that Iran was going to be trouble.
Yeah.
We're down at the end of our time here, but I want to once again mention to you, please donate. Please help with the situation, and you can go to the address there on the screen and make your donation. Please spread the word. Thank you so much.